Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Jackal Tarot. It's your host, Mirage. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to your 2024 yearly reading. So, yeah, we're going to start off with Pisces, my sun sign. Hey Pisces, how you doing? So, I haven't been on for the longest time. I've been taking a slight hiatus to just kind of get my shit together. I rearranged my room. I've had to purge some connections and some other things going on in my life and get that situated. So it's not that I didn't have time to make content anymore. It was more so like I don't want to put that energy on y'all. So as you notice, I have like my setup a little bit different. This is gonna get cleaned out like eventually, or just reorganized. Like this stuff isn't actually supposed to be up here. And as you can see, I have an array of what we're gonna be using today on top of my subwoofer. So, yeah, I'm gonna light a candle for you guys. The theme is cinnamon clove. Oh my God. So it's still like, I meant to light this for Christmas and do some videos during Christmas, but like I said, I had some things go on. And I have to use matches because some trifling bitch that was staying with me, yeah, I said it. She stole my candle torches. She stole toilet paper. Like, you just can't be too nice to people. And then had the audacity to say I need to grow up when I caught her, like, actually... Well, I didn't see her steal them, but like, after a while, you know what the hell's going on. So, I'm just gonna light this real quick. I don't like matches because it's like, all they do is burn you before they burn what you're trying to actually ignite. I don't like that too much. And then we're gonna light some sage. This is the sage that you would want to use for new beginnings, like when you move into a new home or when you're starting something new and you want to just kind of bless the area. But yeah, Pisces, it's been like a rough ride for us. Jupiter has finally gone direct, thank God. It did, I think, the very last day of 2023, which would have been New Year's Eve. And it was crazy because I remember feeling the fluctuation of energy. Like I just kind of felt like everything that was holding me back and everything that was causing me to get stagnant, like it finally just melted away. So I'm going to cleanse my space so that we're not bringing anything from the past or anything that may be ill-begotten into our energy. We're just going to start fresh. So let me sage you too, just to make sure you're good. Put this back. All right, so we're gonna get started with your Shaman Oracle. So this is like basically the theme for the entire year for you, Pisces. And I'm doing this for every sign. I realized that a lot of y'all miss the themes when I would do them per zodiac, like sun sign or whatever you guys like. It could be your moon rising. It don't really matter. But let's see what the universe has for you. I see a lot of good blessings. I see some of you are no longer making excuses for not starting something that you want to work on, like starting projects. Some of you may be starting multiple projects at once to just, get your calling out there. Or some of you realize like you're the one holding yourself back, and so now you're telling yourself different things. You're being kinder to yourself. We have the Hunter, number 27. So some of you could have been born on the 2nd or the 7th of March, or you could have been born on the 27th of February. For some of you, your number is 9, like your life path number, or the number 9 might resonate for some of y'all. But the Hunter gives me Sagittarius energy. This tells me that you guys are going forward and conquering. You're not waiting for permission. You're not waiting for a sign to pursue what you want to pursue. You're going to just get up and, make it happen. So I do like that for you, Pisces, but also remember that as a Pisces, we are two different fish in one person, meaning there's like stuff on my thing and I'm just being picky, ripping it off. But, what that means is you have a shark and then you have a koi fish. Now, it doesn't always have to be a koi fish or a shark. Some of you are piranhas. Some of you are eels, electric eels. Some of you might be leviathans. But whatever the case, you know, you're also noting to guard your own energy. Like, some of you may also be hunting the root cause of generational curses, and you're knocking them out one by one. Some of you may actually be sent on this path to be a divine guardian for your family. It doesn't always have to be like, you know, something ancestral. It could be like maybe you're guarding your kids or your spouse or significant other, you know, depending. But it could also be you're just guarding your own energy in essence, and that's still a big step, you know. Pisces, we're not the best at, you know, dealing with boundaries. We're very nice. We like to be very open. But again, I think some of you are just putting your foot down and letting the world know that you're built for a better purpose, and you are not letting anybody sabotage or get in the way of that. So next we're going to do oops, your Moonology manifestation. Let's see what is going on with your emotions and what the moon has in store for you in 2024. New moon in Aries, go for it. I like this because Aries is like the very beginning of the zodiac wheel. So for some of you, this is just something new. And then also, you know, the new moon, this also talks about new beginnings, or, you know, you're starting something that maybe you didn't think you would start, or you weren't sure like how to prepare for it. Some of you could have Aries moon, I don't know. But whatever the case, you know, you guys are going to, I see a lot of bravery. I see a lot of people being shocked by the fact that you're moving different, but not in a way where it's like you're being fake. It's more so like, you know, you're standing up for yourself. You're not just saying what you're going to do. You're actually making an effort to do it. And again, you're removing all obstacles, or better yet, not making any time for excuses. This also goes for people. Like, if you notice that people are just kind of like in your life saying stuff, but they're not actually committing to anything, you may be distancing yourself from those people, because we are big on, you know, the energy that you keep around is what you attract. So again, I just foresee a lot of you just like standing on business and being like, hey, you know, if you're not with me, they're not necessarily against me, but you are in my way. So now we're going to also do the Cosmic Oracle Tarot, and I'm just going to pull a few cards here. That one's in reverse. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'll do a few more. There's one that, yeah, what is that about? Some of these are already up. So I'm gonna grab those because I feel like they're mostly speaking to you, but I don't remember shuffling them crazy, so uh-oh. What? Bro, what is going on? Okay, Spirit told me to stop there. So now it only pulled out like 9 cards. So I guess in like the next 9 months for each theme, there's like something that's like relevant to you. Don't know. That's gonna apply to y'all. Just let me know how the story goes. So you have sexuality in reverse. And I feel like for some of you, like if you have been fulfilling like, you know, lustful desires and things like that, you're kind of realizing at this point, like, maybe if it's just like, you know, one night stands or just like random hookups here and there, like I think some of you are like, this isn't very fulfilling to me anymore. I need something with more depth, something that keeps my interest. And then next you have commitment. That tells me like maybe it might not be that you guys want an actual romantic relationship. Some of you probably do, or some of you have pursued something. This might be in February, which is in like the next few weeks at the time I'm making this video. But yeah, I also see you guys getting serious about yourself. So some of you may just like be taking a vow of celibacy. If it's not that, it could just be like, you know, I'm only going to be intimate with people that actually have my best interests. Like you might be dating for marriage, or you could be someone that's like, maybe if it has nothing to do with another person, it could just be you're committing to certain goals, like you're staying true to yourself. Again, celibacy doesn't always have to be this icky thing where you're like, fuck sex, I don't want it ever again. It could just honestly be that for some of you, you're like, I don't want to tamper with someone else's energy, and I don't want them tampering with mine, because like when you get to the root of like why people do what they do, it's because they want a connection. It's because they want to share energy. But again, some of you could have realized like maybe you're just taking on too many of somebody else's energy or other forms of energy, and it's like kind of contaminating and polluting your water. So you're just fine. You want balance, but you also want something that you pour as much into it as it pours back into you. So I think that's what I meant earlier. It's like you're dating for like some sort of investment. It doesn't have to be necessarily money, but someone that's like, they're on that path of like wanting what is it like? The end result is y'all understand each other, y'all motivate each other, y'all love each other. And, it is what it is. I feel like I should have thought that more deeply, but I think at the end of the day, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, it's just really, you want someone that, it's not that you have to guess. It's not that you have to like love bomb or shower or, another person with affection to convince them that you're the one. You're looking for that feeling of, like comfort, and it when you engage with it. But again, if it's not with another person, it could just be like a goal or something that you're trying to achieve. Next, we have distance. This is more so in March. Some of you may be missing somebody that is like long distance, or maybe they're just busy. Or it could be like some of you, this could also be maybe you're traveling. You could be going far away from home. Some of you could be traveling for work, or maybe you feel like you're very detached or very disconnected from friends or anything that's familiar to you, which that happens to us from time to time. I'm just checking my notifications, sorry. That does happen to us from time to time. But I don't see this being something where y'all like, it's a like a doom thing, like where y'all just get stuck and you're like, oh my god, like it's a horrible breakup or something. I just feel like for some of you, maybe it's that distance has to happen so you can work on yourself and focus on yourself. Next is caution, which I guess is like in April. Find out more information. Don't overwork yourself, especially with that Aries new moon. Don't jump into anything that you're not sure about. Like, definitely take your time and weigh the cons and pros, but also make sure that you have the resources and like some sort of backup plan just in case things don't go the way that you had anticipated. Because sometimes, especially as a Pisces, we tend to visualize like what the future should look like, and then we just start rushing for anything that sort of fits, or we think will fit what we're looking for. I don't know what is in here making that noise. I think it's like my laptop making noises. I don't know. Oh wait, no, it's the video. So that being said, yeah, just make sure that you're not forcing anything to fit. Make sure that you're like kind of looking at the bigger picture, and before you finalize anything, just make sure to check a few things off your list to make sure that like, hey, okay, this is what I signed up for. And also don't settle. Like, that's the biggest thing. Next, we have love spell. In May, you've been bewitched. Pisces, you got a little admirer, or you have someone that like maybe you are interested in and they keep you hooked. But this could also be someone that's like kind of manipulating energy. I don't want to put that on anybody. I want to kind of let this reading be something that's positive. But again, I just really feel like in May, some of you may be like more attracted to something or someone, and it could probably be something that's unhealthy. Like if you realize You wake up and you're just like, you know, honing over, oh, this person didn't text me back, like they must be out with other people, they must be ignoring me, or oh my god, I didn't get the job, what am I gonna do, or oh my god, my job didn't promote me, or like, you know, my friend, she hasn't answered her phone in like 5 hours, you know, what happened, is she mad at me? Like, again, those don't necessarily have to be like romantic love spells or someone putting an actual spell on you, but it could just be like this unhealthy attachment to an outcome. And try not to get so, you know, held over on these sorts of things. Like, it's not that deep, that's basically what I want to say. But also just like be mindful that like whatever it is that you're holding on to and you can't stop thinking about, you attract more of that. So it might not be that you're thinking about your friend, you could be just like really zeroing in on your abandonment issues, or the fact that you've gotten cheated on in the past, or the fact that like, you know, whatever had happened. Don't carry that energy with you, because it'll start to make you spiral and think things that aren't actually reality. Center yourself, and then also just make sure that you are being, what is the word? Being more aware of like the energy that's around you, or that what you're projecting isn't something that is like, what do you call it? Like, validate yourself. Don't worry about like the fact that you didn't get a response or something didn't go the way that you thought it should go. At the end of the day, you are actually in control of like what you do, what you say, and what you think. Like, maybe not subconsciously, like sometimes our subconscious tends to wander, but be careful you're not attracting more of what you fear, or like an ill-expected situation. Like, you know, if you have trust issues, you got to work out those trust issues. You can't depend on somebody else to fix them for you. That's what I'm getting at. Next, we have liar. Be careful. Someone is sneaky, which is kind of funny, despite the fact that I just said, like, don't worry about that love spell there. But let's see. This would be June. Just be wary. Like, I think there's someone in your circle that you're catching in the act of like not being honest with you. Could be that they're not necessarily telling lies, but they could just be on some sneaky shit. So like, you know, tread with caution. But if this is someone you've been seeing for a while and you're starting to notice a lot of red flags, it may be time to, but this comes up later in the reading. This is more like August energy. Like, this came out last, but still, like, I put it in between liar and the next card that you have, and I'm like, but I'm kind of curious, do we have a Mercury retrograde in July? Like, I'm not entirely sure. Have to look it up. I was told we don't have another one until I think April of this year. I'm gonna write it down here just so y'all can see that. But I'm also gonna have like a list of retrogrades. I try to, like, when I do my readings, like, get y'all informed about the you know, the forecasts and stuff like that up in the cosmos, but it is what it is. So next, you do have Mercury retrograde. And for those of you who aren't familiar, electronic issues, communication issues, review everything. And it's so funny because, like, the person I was just telling y'all about in the very beginning that was stealing from me and shit, Mercury retrograde, like, literally ended. And me and this person were, like, really, really cool. We got along really great. But the longer they were around, the more I'm like, why is my shit missing? Or, you know, why can't this person, like, just stop messing with stuff? And then they would ramble a lot, but they would also just kind of like make everything about them. Like, if they noticed I was working on something or trying to enjoy something, or even just like, you know, disassociate for a few seconds or recharge, like, they would just keep rambling and sort of figure out how to make like what's going on like about them. And it just got old. So it, you know, before you know it, like, the more that I just kind of not reacted, but just like sat around and like observed like what they were doing and how they were just like throwing themselves around out in public, I'm like, you know what, this person is a egomaniac and, you know, a narcissist, and they're a pathological liar, but then also they're a fucking klepto. So it's like, I had to make a hard decision. And I'm like, you know, I love having fun with this person, and, you know, they can be thoughtful, but they're thoughtful in a way where they're like love bombing you, But then when they have noticed you're not like, you know, keeping an eye on them, they start stealing from you. So that's where I was like, really? I've never had, okay, I'm lying. I've had a few people steal from me, and one person that I was actually, no, two people I dated in my life have stolen from me. But from there, I'm just like, yeah, like when you see the red flags, when you see the signs, like it's time to let it go. And sometimes with Mercury retrograde, it's not that, you know, you're going to fall out with someone and you guys are having miscommunication. Sometimes that miscommunication is you trying to gaslight yourself, like this person wouldn't do that to me, and you're looking for excuses to hold them around when the lesson is right there. And that's all that person was. They were a lesson of, you know, they're 2 years older than me, and I'm like, if I don't get my shit together or just stand on my shit and be serious about something, you know, that's how I'm going to end up in 2 years. And I'm like, I don't want that. So I thank that person for teaching me what I needed to learn, but the worst thing you could possibly end up as in, you know, this life is a lesson and nothing more. And some people, that's what they are. They're literally just existing to teach you what not to become, and that's it. Next we have health, and this one would be for hold on, wait a minute. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So in August, like that would be kind of that weird area where it may start turning into fall. It might just be late summer for some people, but definitely monitor your health. Try not to do a whole lot of unhealthy escapades, like overworking yourself for a job or like at the gym. You know, monitor your body, your mind, and just try to find some sort of balance. Monitor your eating habits, because I know in the summer we have like fairs and people tend to travel, and sometimes you might be traveling internationally, or better yet, you could be traveling somewhere that, you know, like, I want to just say don't be too trusting. Like if something already looks like there might be something wrong with it, like, you know, food that's not cooked properly or water that's not filtered correctly, if at all, like just be very careful. So next we have let go, and this is in September. Make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. It's gonna get kind of noisy because I think my niece and nephew are awake. Or nieces. One of them was supposed to be in school. Yeah, so like make a new way make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. So in September there's going to be this door maybe that opens, or there's going to be a floodgate for some of you, where I think this year, like I said, you've just been making room for things that, like, if you're putting in the work now, then like by the winter, or not winter, but by the fall seasons, that's where everything just starts to come together. And you know, like you open your door and lo and behold, Christmas comes early. It could be some of you get promotions, or some of you get like lump sums of money. It could be for some of you, you start to travel, or you like move into a new home. There's all kinds of possibilities. But again, like nothing really just pops out of thin air. It's because you earned it. Let me get 3 more just to get the final months. Whoa. Okay, 1 more. Yeah, I was trying to find time to film when it was quiet, but I've had to rearrange my whole room for this person to stay with me, and then I had to kick them out before they even stayed that long. But later on, you know, I like how my room is, so I won't say I did it all in vain, but it did feel like it for a second. And, you know, I'm just focused on everything that I said I was going to work on last year and didn't really get to. Like, here we are. Doesn't really matter what happens in the past. What matters is where you go from now. So, in October, we have intimacy. If some of you are longing for a partner, like I feel some of you are just like, you know, cleansing your own inner energy, and you're not looking or not trying to pursue anything commitment wise, like as far as like romantic. Like maybe you have dated throughout the year, or you will date throughout the year. I don't know why I said it past tense, like the year has just started. But let's see, you may end up like being with someone that like you don't have any issues like being open with in that way. Like I said, this is a connection. I think for some of you, you've been like pursuing this for the longest. Like it could be like maybe you had a partner that was like long distance, or you meet someone on your travels, and then like, you know, or you just probably meet somebody in October and you get to have like that cozy like fall love. It just really depends. So I mean, that's going to resonate for some of you. And then for others, like maybe that intimacy is just you spending more time with yourself, like doing intimate things like yoga, going hiking and all that stuff. She said we got to change your booty. It's so funny. Okay, next we have cycles. This is for November. So, fate, karma, something ending, something beginning. This is so crazy because like you had Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde is about cycles, like learning lessons, and then like when you have finally learned that lesson, once Mercury retrograde ends, like you don't really have to go through that no more. Like Mercury, for every time Mercury goes retrograde, you learn a lesson about communication or responsibility, like again backing up your electronics and looking through let's see, contracts, making sure you read the fine print, like just making sure that you don't rush to do something, or that you're not prolonging something that does not need to be in your life. So if you notice you're going through something and like something is checking off all the boxes for red flags, like it might just be time to let something go in November. And then in December, you have narcissists. Someone is too full of themselves, which is so crazy because like December was technically when I met that chick, you know? So I'm like, But earlier this week of me recording this, or no, today is Monday. So like a few days ago, I think it was like Friday. I'm pretty sure it was Friday. I cut off that chick, one of my best friends. That's no, like they weren't, I mean, I'm not going to say they were never my best friend, but they, you know, they just had this kind of energy. And then also like I had a friend that she is a liar and stuff like that. And then she tried to love bomb me despite like kind of avoiding me over the holidays. And, you know, she's got this new dude now and she keeps making these excuses, but also she's like very bad at keeping her word at like hanging out. And most of the time this is stuff that she's initiating, like, hey, I want to play a video game, or hey, you know, like we should go to like this, whatchamacallit, whatever. We even planned a trip to Puerto Rico. And then like when I bought her a Christmas present, oh, I can't go. My boyfriend won't let me. I'm banned because, you know, I cheated on him. And, you know, also you want to go all around Puerto Rico. Like that's just not something I can do. So why were you wasting everybody's time? It was me, her, and a few friends like planning this together. And I'm like, you're literally going to let your boyfriend tell you you can't go back to where you came from? Like, what the fuck is that? But anyways, you know, she like, that might not sound like narcissist behavior pretty much, but like, you know, if I told y'all a whole story about like this chick and how she's been in my life for a few years, I finally put my foot down and told her, look, I'm not mad, but you need to just back away from me with this bullshit and smiling and being like, I love you. Oh my God, don't forget that. And you can't meet your commitment. So, let's see. But what I will tell you guys is there's no need to worry. Like, even if you do encounter some things that are a little sketch or they kind of throw you off your path temporarily, nothing is coincidence. Nothing happens on accident. So sometimes, even though there is a wrench in your plans, you're just being tested to see how strong your drive is. What, like, if you're committed, like, you're not going to make excuses. You're going to make results. So that's the type of energy that I've been on. Matter of fact, hold on, I want to get a photo of these. So we're going to put these away. Just bear with me. Like, three members of my family have COVID, so they're in their apartment. The kids are here. Their dad is gone. My brother. And I'm pretty sure one of them was supposed to be in school today, but it is what it is. So, you know, we're all taking our part in helping, but I'm like, crap, I just need to really get these videos out. And again, this is why y'all don't hear me or see me record as much, because, you know, I live with my nieces and nephew and my brother. But Usually I would record in the middle of the night. It's just that I had a video that I was working on for one of my other channels. So, y'all might see that, like, I'll link it below if you guys are interested. But yeah, it must be noted that I have 3 channels. So we're going to use the Mermaid Tarot card to pull a card for the theme of this year. Like, you know, what resonates, what might be in store for you all. That's too many cards. Shit. Oh, one of them fell up, so I guess we'll take that one. Okay, we have King of Swords. King of Swords is a very cold man. He does not take any bullshit. He stands on what he says, and that's it. He is very observant. He has a very sharp tongue. What he says is law. But he can be very flighty, especially emotional situations. So for some of you, this year is just literally that. You're not taking any bullshit. You are standing on business. You are not going to react to anything that is trying to pull at or prick at your emotions. You're not dealing with any manipulation. You're also not putting any like foul energy into the universe, because you have learned, like, you know, what you put out there is what you get in return. So if you're staying true to your path and yourself, like anything that is not meant for you, you know, it'll make itself known. It'll be a little bit more obvious. No sense in crying over something that is not meant to be for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, next we're going to do the Tarot of the Divine. And I'm going to see what's in store for you guys for this year. Oh. Alrighty. Now keep in mind this reading is going to be kind of long because it's a yearly one. So y'all want all 12 months of predictions? Yeah, this isn't going to be something that's short. But I owe it to you guys. I've been gone for months, so it's the least I could do. Let me move this up. And sheesh, it's like, it's hard to move cards around with one hand. I don't know if y'all knew that. As a tarot reader, it's like, you just gotta be very organized on what we do. It's not as easy as it looks. Matter of fact, it's like I could scoop this up. And put these a little bit closer together so there's more room. That makes 5. Scoot you over a little bit more. All right. What's going on with Pisces for 2024? What are some messages for Pisces? I'll get 4 more, Spirit, thank you. I'll get 3 more. One last one. Whoa. All right. Pisces, you have 2 queens that have fallen out here. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. Interesting. 4 is about healing and taking time to rest. So that might be what 2024 is for you. In January, you have justice, Libra energy, but also things being made right. So I think January is just that breathing room where everything starts to come back together, like kind of where you left off. I think for a lot of us, 2023 was just a really like crazy year of whatever could go wrong did. But now you're starting in a place where you have room to, I don't want to say just start over again. I mean, we are at the start of a new year, but what I really mean is now you can add more into your life, and it won't like cause this imbalance or like, you know, give you this sense of desperation or anxiety that like, oh, my life isn't together, I have to do everything now. Like, don't worry. Everything is going to be balanced and set accordingly. The universe knows your highest good, or better yet, your higher consciousness. The universe just kind of like agrees with everything that you do and say. But you're being told, don't worry so much. Like, just give yourself that time to like reset. 3 of Coins. The 3 of Coins is usually somebody that has a lot to teach another person. But in this card, this looks kind of funny. Like, this person's singing and warding away bad spirits. This is also somebody that is so secure in themselves that they have a lot to offer. And if somebody is like, you know, meaning them ill will or trying to steal from them, they're just like, yeah, you can take it, whatever. I'm just going to make more. That's basically what that is. They're not paying any heed to anything that is set to distract them or uproot them from their path. This is also February energy, by the way. So in March, we have the Magician. And, you know, this is basically saying that you are, oh God, that overcast, there we go. You are in control of the life that you desire. You are in control of your destiny. So March will be whatever you make it. March is my birthday month. And then for some of you, you know, 3 of Coins for February, that could be for your birthday month. So the theme will vary, you know, based off of who I'm talking to. But, you know, you're being given the opportunity to just use your own power for whatever you want to use it for, to rebrand your life. And for some of you, you're not necessarily rebranding, you're just expanding. So it's like, again, it's going to vary. For April, we had the 9 of Wands in reverse. Some of you are finally letting your guard down and understanding that not everything has to end up in conflict. Like, remember what I said a bit ago, where you're not letting anything disturb your emotional reactions. Like, you're just to a point where you're like, like you're seeing it for what it is, and then you are understanding like probably I forgot how many, like there's a video if you guys want to look it up. It's called like the something of power. There's like it's pretty long, but it tells you like how to, for some people it's like how to be manipulative, but also it's like a strategy where you don't tell too much about what's going on in your life. You're not giving anybody too much of a cause or like an upper hand in how to, like, you know, separate things that are meant for you, or sever things or interrupt things. You know how like when you just like go on social media or you go around your friends and you're just announcing like all these things you want to do, but you eventually don't even feel motivated to do them, or maybe you do and then like everything goes wrong like in the middle of you trying to, you know, do this stuff. Sometimes that's because of the evil eye, but also sometimes like when we do too much to just kind of announce things for validation, we've already put all that energy and what we could have been doing into our words and our thoughts. But that sometimes alleviates like, hey, well, you technically did it. You said that you were going to do something, and you know, like it's pretty much been done, but you spent the energy in talking about it. Like you're supposed to spend the energy in doing it, and then you just kind of show off the results instead of, hey, look what I'm about to do, and you show a blank canvas. Instead, hey, look what I did. What do you guys think? Show off the results instead. That's basically what the 9 of Wands in reverse is saying. Now in May, we have the 5 of Coins, which is kind of goofy because like that's May, and May is the 5th month of the year. But some of you could be feeling like you're left out in the cold. Some of you could be feeling like nobody wants you around, or there's like a sense of betrayal. Some of you feel like maybe your finances are just being sucked away, or they're not being poured into what you want. Like maybe some of you are handling debt, or I don't want to say eviction notices, but like that could be unexpected. Like I think in May, like things take a turn to where it feels like this is the worst, but at any point she could literally get up and pick those coins off of that stained glass, and I don't think anybody would blink an eye. Not necessarily, but you know, she's also trying to warm herself up, and she's got frostbite. So this also says, like, don't sit in a situation and dwell in it. Like, okay, yeah, that sucks. And I'm not trying to invalidate what anybody has going on, because like literally life has not been a cakewalk. It just really hasn't. It's been a mess. And if any of y'all have known what I've dealt with in the past year, it's just been a mess. So what I will say is, you know, don't sit in a place where you're like thinking worst case scenario, and then you just keep spiraling and getting hopeless or feeling hopeless and doubtful about your situation. Because next you have the Queen of Coins. This is in June. This is the first queen that's like out here for you guys. And I do see like some of you are going to boss up and get your money right. I think like in May you learn a lesson to like just be careful. Like some of you, again, you could be handling some debt or things that, you know, you're like, damn, like, you know, I can never have my money to myself. And then you find this opportunity. I don't know what it is, but everything just starts to come together. And, you know, the Queen of Coins can also be someone that is pregnant. So just like make sure that you are being healthy, make wise decisions. But congratulations if this is something that was like planned. But if it's not pregnancy, again, this could be a project or something that you've been working on diligently and finally is showing results. Even if it's just something like, hey, I finally got into my dream job, and you're just starting over again, that's fine. Don't let anybody tell you that starting over again is bullshit and is something that like, haha, that's what you get. Like, no. Sometimes starting over again means that you know your worth and you're not going to settle for what is not making you happy. We always need to grow, you know? Next, you have Four of Cups in July. So this, you know, again, taking that time to rest and also being in gratitude for what you do have. So even though this person has like a lot of wealth, and I think they collect like, you know, very eccentric looking cups and things like that, in the back there's an actual bird sitting on a goblet. So these are just kind of like trinkets, whereas like behind this person is life, is, you know, something that is actually animated and is real. So if you've had like a dream or something that you've been wanting to pursue for the longest, like don't sit so much like telling yourself the story of one day I'll become famous, one day I'll get six figures, one day, you know, I'll finally travel to this destination, whether it be inside or outside the country. I think at this point, for some of you, you know, you turn around, you look out the window and you're like, no, actually, and you start telling yourself a different narrative. Like, no, actually, I am six figures. Like, it might not be in my bank right now, but I feel like six figures. So let me just carry on that energy. And before you know it, my bank will reflect the six figures. Like, yeah, I get it. People be like, oh, don't be delulu. Like, you know, but sometimes when you tell yourself a story enough, it starts to become real within reason. But, you know, that doesn't mean go splurging like you got six figures and stuff like that if you really don't. What that means is like, you're harboring the energy that you want to see into reality. So again, you know, this person, it seems like they really love birds and they collect things that remind them of something that they think is out of reach, but this bird just comes to visit them one day. If they'd only turn around, they'd see that things were possible. And then in August, you have the Queen of Swords. So you have a queen to your king for the overall energy. Two queens though, so for my feminines, like I do see a lot of you just evolving and knowing your worth, but again, standing on business. So just like the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, she's actually quicker to cut people off. She'll hear what you have to say, but she's not for no bullshit. So for her, you got to come correct. And if you can't, she's not wasting her time. You know, she spent all this time, you know, getting ready. She's very beautiful, you know, and she got money. So whatever you got to say, and she is like, what? Like, She doesn't hesitate. The king might just sit there and be like more thoughtful in his calculations, but the queen is just literally like, I don't have time for this. Like she doesn't like to sit still either. Like I said, they're very flighty, so they're on to the next thing. And that could be you in August. Like maybe you've just kind of been around something or someone that is like, what the fuck? And then you move on to something else. Two of Cups. Like I said, some of you may be finding your soulmate. Some of you may be finding fulfillment in yourselves. This is potentially a Pisces card, but this talks about soulmate energy, becoming one or uniting with someone. And like, they're becoming your counterpart. Could be a relationship, like the start of one. Or maybe you guys are just dating, but not yet like completely exclusive. Although the way that they're, like being, like how they are with each other, like you would think like, nah, y'all are together, right? For some people, it's not that simple. Like they want to see where it goes, but at the same time, they're not putting all their eggs in one basket, and they both have an understanding of that. So these are new times. And everything changes in life, So like some people aren't traditional with dating, and we just got to be accepting of that. If it's not something that, works for you, don't try to force another person to change to be happy with you. Like, then they would have to settle. Like, you don't want nobody to settle for you, right? And then in September, we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is, I believe, like a Sagittarius card. I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. But this is also someone who the wheel is turning. So if you've been feeling stuck, I don't see why you would, Pisces. But if you have been feeling stuck, this wheel is turning in your favor. And you're starting to see the results of like gaining everything that you put out into the universe that you wanted to obtain this year or work towards this year. So it could be like in, hold on, this is August, right? No, this is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. This is August. This is September. This is October, sorry. So like around Halloween month, like as we get into fall, that's where things are starting to kind of, go their own course. But again, October, you might be feeling extremely wealthy and happy and jumping for joy because like you're starting to see the results that this year was your year, or that like, dang, I know we're at the like last quarter of the year, but like you're feeling like you're in a fairy tale, or like you're finally getting that happy ending. In November, you have Death, which is kind of funny because like Death is a Scorpio card, and what is it, like October, November is Scorpio season. Yeah, and then like late November, early December is Sagittarius. So it could be some of you are changing or adapting to a change, and that means you have to let go of the old you, or maybe you have to let go of things that are just like unhealthy for you, which still means you have to let go of an older version of you that no longer resonates. Again, we are a species that's constantly evolving. We're not meant to stay in one mind, one mindset or like one way of living. So if you find that in November, like maybe, who you're with or who you surround yourself with, or a job that you're at, or like even your own home situation, like if things are getting kind of like uncomfortable, it's time to shed that skin. It's time to molt and grow, but not like with a form of resentment to what's going on, but more so like, okay, like I don't like that, and I'm not gonna continue to entertain it. So like, let me just work on myself, and then when I'm ready, I'll figure out a way to not deal with this or to move forward. Wait, actually, I'm sorry, you have 3 queens. Because last, in December, you had the Queen of Cups. That's your energy, Pisces. Queen of Cups is someone that is very merciful, is very healing. She is very open with her emotions. She's very fluid and adaptable. She embodies a lot of feminine energy. She just kind of goes with the flow. Now, if you had just the Queen of Wands, like this would be Empress energy. But I mean, like, so the Empress is basically all 4 of the queens in the deck, and then also the Emperor is all 4 of the kings in the deck. But you're still on a path of enlightenment. You're still on a path of self-nurturing and going after what is meant for you. So I don't, like, this whole reading, I don't see anything that could go wrong. But obviously, y'all know how I do. We gotta, oops, open the book by mistake. We have to clarify. I warned y'all this is gonna be long. I hope y'all ain't in the comments talking about some, oh my God, like this is, if it resonates, like cool, but let me know if it does. Like as the year goes on, I want to see some comments like, man, like you was right, or yo, like this happened. I want to know. I like doing these videos because y'all always come and tell me like, yo, what? So we're also going to use the Modern Spellcasters tarot decks. All right, this is like literally the first deck I've ever gotten for my little tarot career here. Oops. And then we're going to finish with a super attractor, and that will be that. I wonder if we'll look out and we get the Empress. That would be so cool. In this round, we can probably just skim through it. I'm not going to bore y'all with like all these, you know, explanations and analogies like I have been in the past. Like, it's not that I want to make the video shorter. It's just one of those, like, I do tend to ramble, but also like I need to make sure I'm just giving this energy to you and not like pouring so much of my essence into it. And then it just gets all cluttered because I do tend to like over explain out of anxiety, but I'm doing better. Like now that I've taken a huge break from social media overall, you will see some things change in my social media like in the next few weeks actually. But with that being said, I've been working on my energy and just like protecting it, but also just like not giving so much of it so that I'm not always burnt out all the time. But since the new year, I've been like putting my foot down and I'm like, nah, like the minute I get motivated to do something, no excuses, no, oh, I'll wait for the right time. Like, as you see, I'm filming right now, despite the fact that like, well, it's gotten quieter, but like, you know, there was some fussing going on a little bit ago, but gotta roll with it, man. Like, you know, nobody made it doing what they wanted to do with passion because they were waiting for the right moment. Some people just jump right in, and if it doesn't work, okay, they just keep working at it. It doesn't matter. Fam, I can't believe I'm going to be 35 this year. Like, I'm halfway to 40. I'm a little scared, but I'm going to make these last 5 years of my 30s really count because I really wasted them on the stupidest of things, but also the stupidest of people that just didn't deserve me. So it is what it is. Not trying to sound narcissistic, but it's just one of those like, damn, I was really settling for that? Never again. And then, you know, one day, so people might wake up and then be like, whoa, like, you know, now she's on the news. Now she's doing like, you know, podcasts, interviews, being flown out and all that. Probably not to Saudi Arabia. Like, nothing wrong with Saudi Arabia, but I'm not going to be one of those influencers, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, just humbling myself and just staying to myself, but also just like focusing on making sure that all my hobbies, the things that I'm like, hey, I want to monetize off of this someday, that I'm actually putting in the work to make that a reality. Huh. Alrighty. Let's do this. So you have strength over justice. Not only are things coming together for you in this Libra energy that's circling around you, but you also have Leo protecting you, and Leo being a sun card, or the sun being a Leo card, but like, you know, this could also resonate sun energy, you know, new beginnings, a new dawn. But I just see like some of you are taking on Leo energy and, you know, going forth and conquering and pursuing what it is that you want in the world. Now you have the Two of Cups in reverse over the Three of Coins. So this could be a scorned lover from like your past, like an ex or something like that, or like an ex-friend, like maybe a best friend that's like wishing you ill will, like they don't want to see you move on. Because remember I said like you got this energy in the background, just like trying to distract you or steer you away from your own wealth, like your own inner essence, your own form of self-confidence and self-worth. Like you're not letting that happen. Like this is literally something that's trying to distract you, and I think you're picking up on it, but you're like, oh well, that sucks that you feel that way, but I'm still going to enjoy my life, and that's how it should be. Ace of Cups over the Magician. I hear you singing like beautiful songs right now. If you're not a singer, like you're probably just like you know, like internally singing and happy. Like I feel like this is a battle cry, the victory. But, you know, Ace of Cups, new beginnings. And the new beginning is like you taking your power and building something beautiful for yourself. Like you have the power of manifestation, Pisces. If nobody else, like you're really good at manifesting what you really want because you're the dreamer. You know, you don't have to wait on permission for other people. So when you see the potential of something beautiful and you put your own creative energy into it to help it bloom, you know, that's what the Ace of Cups is about. That's what that new beginning is about. You see the flowers here and that one lone fish with this waterfall coming out, and all these other fishes are like, bruh, I wish that was me. How'd they get up there? What the fuck? I mean, they believed in themselves. You know, they kept swimming and swimming until they got to the top. Whereas people kept trying to pull them down or trying to convince them like, oh, you know, I don't think that'll happen for you. Or like, why do you think you're worth that? Like, fam, you gotta be your own cheerleader at the end of the day. Five of Cups over the Nine of Wands in reverse. Yeah, that Nine of Wands, y'all remember what I said about it. So like, don't get held up looking at what you lost while holding on to a potential of what you want. And you notice like he's holding it where it looks like the waterfalls could fill up those cups, but the Five of Cups talks about someone just like so focused on their losses that they're not even looking at like what's left. So I think that's something that had been holding you back. When it comes to April, you may just become more aware of it and actually like have a regimen to work on not letting your mind wander into that place of darkness and stagnation where you're like, oh my God, if I hadn't done this, this wouldn't happen. Or what would have happened if I hadn't spent money on Chick-fil-A that one Monday, like when I needed, you know, breakfast, like I probably wouldn't be, don't worry about that. Like where we came from does not always affect where we are right now. Where we are right now is where we put ourselves right now. Like we can mourn over the past all day and like sit and chalk it up and, you know, reminisce. But at the end of the day, action is like basically what carries you into the now, not like sitting there dwelling and being like, oh, well, maybe one day I'll have my dreams come true. Maybe one day I'll, you know, like move past this. No, it starts today. The Hierophant over the Five of Coins. Yeah, Pisces, you have like someone, like this is Taurus energy, but you have someone that's like from the past being sneaky, and like now that they're dealing with judgment, they're still trying to, it's like they're trying to bow before you and be like, hey, I'm sorry for what I did, but they're still holding secrets from you. And again, this could be someone that was a former best friend or like an ex-lover. It could be like a family member that's no longer in your life, a coworker that like have been trying to sabotage you and take credit for your work or make it seem like you're the one that's like the reason that things go wrong in the company. But either way, you are like, you know, you were feeling left out. You were feeling like, you know, like, why is everything so hard? But, you know, don't worry. And don't let anybody be the cause of why you have to worry. If someone's harassing you, like, just remove yourselves from it. If you can't, like, still don't let them, like, invade your energy. Like, people only have as much power as we give them most of the time. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse over the Queen of Coins. Beware that you're not being stuck in a place of waiting for someone else to validate what you want to do. Like if you're going to friends and you're just trying to tell them like, hey, there's this thing I want to work on, or there's this thing that gives me joy, like, and they're just kind of like, don't fall in that pit of like, damn, like, why am I into weird shit? Or, you know, why is it whatever I put like all this effort into something, like people don't, you know, it's like they don't care. Because Pisces, you can't force anybody to care. If it's for you, it's for you, you know? So don't be running around telling people like there's something out there that makes you happy and you want to keep pursuing it, but at the end of the day, like, you don't even find joy in it. It's like it's something that you were hoping to get a reaction out of and have a conversation about, but that has to be done sometimes internally. Like, don't worry about the outside world all the time. The World in reverse over the Four of Cups. Remember I said, you know, you're so busy trying to look at all the possessions you have, you don't even realize what's going on out there, or like what you want to pursue is like literally within arm's reach. Some of you want to travel. Some of you want to just move forward with a lot of things. The world usually talks about traveling, but it could also be like someone that's like making the effort to grow and pursue like what is meant for them, what is aligning with them. But you do tend to get to a point, Pisces, where you get easily distracted, or you get like hyper focused on something and you miss an opportunity because like where your focus was at that time. Just be careful that doesn't happen, because I feel like an opportunity will come up in July and you may miss it by an inch because like there was something else that you were like, you know, fawning over, and then next thing you know you're like, ah, damn, like don't let that happen. But I mean, even if it does, in August you have the Eight of Wands over the Queen of Swords. So there's a lot of action, there's a lot of movement, there's messages coming forward to like a lot of like, you know, approvals being signed, like, hey, you got the job, congratulations. Like you might be getting emails like that, or hey, people may want to collab with you, or if you're someone who works with social media, you may be getting a lot of offers to be sponsored or to review products, you know, or, you know, again, maybe you're getting flown out to review something or invited out to, I mean, be careful, but you could be invited out to like certain parties and stuff. I just foresee this entire reading before I continue is you don't even see it coming, but your life is about to evolve. Meanwhile, while it's evolving, the universe is still pricking at, hey, you know what, while you're elevating, there are some people that want you to stay where you were. You can't take those people with you. Better yet, you can't even tell them good things are happening to you or let them know ahead of time what you're working on, because they're going to naysay, or they're going to be like, ugh, like, you know, be distracted or visibly annoyed with what you're doing, to a point where you're going to feel alone and isolated. But that's sometimes what people closest to us want, not necessarily that we don't exceed. They don't want us happier than they are. So be careful. Now, the Hangman with the Two of Cups. The Hangman is Pisces energy, but it's also, I think it's supposed to be Virgo energy too, if I'm not mistaken. But beware that even though you're in Two of Cups energy, it's not because you're forcing something to fit, or you just like have like a trauma bond with someone. Ask yourself, why am I attracted to this person, or why am I attracted to this cause? Like what is it fulfilling right now? It's nice to be in love, but also make sure to ask those questions that people tend to like stray away from because they don't want to ruin something. But you can't ruin what's meant for you. Instead, like when you ask yourself these questions, you're getting closer and closer to realizing like, this might be nice for now, but I can't dwell in it forever. Or better yet, this is probably something that's not meant to be like a forever situation. So make your peace with that and do what you got to do. Six of Swords in reverse over the Wheel of Fortune. You might, whoever I'm talking to, you might be someone who gets into this energy of running when things don't go the way that you had anticipated. Or sometimes there's like that form of embarrassment where we're like, you know, things fall apart and then we're like, ah, shit. So instead of like, I mean, I'm not saying bear shame and like, you know, put yourself on the cross and all this stuff, but you know, like, let's say like, hey, that job, it didn't work, and then you just quit, but you don't have like a plan to get income until you find another job. Or, you know, like, or maybe you just run when things get hard, like a relationship or your house life, or when you and a friend fall out, or, you know, maybe a project, like you're actually inspired to work on it, but like it's not coming together the way you hope. So you say, fuck it, trash it, or better yet, you just like put it to the side and work on something else so you don't have to think about whatever that is. Take your time, be patient, because again, the wheel is turning for you, but you're not going to appreciate any of that if you're like, this isn't going the way I want. And, you know, something good is something good. But just because it's not going the way that we had anticipated it doesn't mean it's bad or that we did something wrong. Maybe that's just what it needed to be. That's how it had to happen. And it's time to develop a better form of gratitude for a lot of things that we didn't think we would need, or they come up as an inconvenience, but it's like literally you're getting what you asked for. It might be a little late, it might be a little early, but you got to adjust to it. Otherwise, like, everything in life is going to be some sort of inconvenience, or, you know, you're just not going to be happy with it. You got the Wheel of Fortune again over Death. So as you're working on your inner transformation, the wheel is still turning in your favor, and they're like literally side by side. So October and November. So fall is your year of blessings. And again, it might feel like, but you know, why do I have to keep changing things about myself? Or why do I have to? It's because sometimes you're about to go into rooms where you cannot take the old version of yourself. And sometimes when we, like, you know, pull around the old version of ourselves, we are not ready to experience what's before us because we're not moving in gratitude. Like, there's that part of us that's just like, you know, for example, if your dream job requires you to get up at 5 a.m. to be there at, like, I don't know, 6, 7 a.m. and, you know, you got to fight through traffic and stuff, but then you're like, but I don't want to get up that early. Okay, then go settle for these jobs that'll, like, you know, have these open schedules, and yeah, you got to rotate, but you're not feeling fulfilled, right? So you got to ask yourself that big boy, big girl question, like, is this bringing me closer to my goal? If so, can I adjust to it? Can I make those arrangements? Because again, if you got kids or some other commitments, I get it. But like, if you're someone that's, you know, single, like, you're just kind of figuring the world out, and you're like, you know, going down with a paddle and it's just you and the kayak or the canoe, like, you know, you're in charge of where you're steering. You can't keep blaming the river or like the course of the waters, like, you know, whether it's rough or whatever, there's a lot of rocks or where it's taking you. Again, you're still the person that's in control. So it's either you learn to adapt or you drown, or you just stay where you were, like, you know, or you find yourself in still water. And are you going to be happy, or are you going to start cursing and being like, oh my God, why is life happening to me? Like, it's about changing your mindset this year. Finally, we had the 8 of Pentacles over the Queen of Cups. You're protecting what's important to you, Pisces, and sometimes it's not all about riches. It's not all about your kids. It can be, but sometimes your wealth is literally how you show up for yourself. Because some people don't have this. There are people that drink their life away, you know, pop pills, that end up in these like low vibrational situations or situationships. There's people who have kids that force someone else to take care of their kids while they go out and party. There's people that you know, they serial date and they don't care who they hurt, like, so long as they're the one that comes out on top. Again, you know, but Pisces, for you want to be in that beautiful, blessed energy. You want to feel like, you know, this is your wealth. It's not much, but it is something that you work hard on every day. And the more that you work on investing into protecting, but then also flourishing what is meant for you, what you are actually proud of, what gives you a sense of pride, what gives you that excited feeling to wake up in the morning and pursue a new day. Like, it's about your mindset. And if I can do it, despite like all the things that have been thrown in my face, like, Pisces, I'm confident that you got this. So, hold on. I want to take a photo of this. This is pretty neat. I'm taking a lot of photos, aren't I? One last card. Your super attractor. This is going to be fun to edit. Even though we're definitely in Capricorn energy, but I'll get to Capricorn momentarily. Yeah, this is too many. Hold on. Let me shuffle one more time. It was 3 and I'm like, we're already past an hour of me editing this. So like, yeah, we can only take one. All right. I am kind and loving toward others while creating clear boundaries that protect my good feeling emotions. And that's literally what I've been telling you. You are the energy and the light that you seek in others, Pisces. So in order to really attract that and be in gratitude of that and keep attracting more of it, you have to be what you seek in others, what you seek in the world. If not, why would anybody be bothered with you? And I've had like friends my whole life, I've had to say that too. If you want good friends, you have to be a good friend. If you want to work a job that is worth your time, then you got to show up to that job like it's worth your time. I mean, it might not be, but you know, if it gets you closer to what you're trying to obtain in the world, let it happen. So that has been your reading, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed. Happy New Year once again. And then for Lunar New Year, if you guys did not know, we are going into the year of the dragon. So can't wait to do readings on those here soon. If this happened to resonate, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Give that community tab some love because I will be posting in it more often. If it didn't resonate, that's totally okay. This could be meant for another Pisces or somebody with Pisces in their chart. But like, be very careful with the energies. Do not force anything to fit. You are not Cinderella. Do not put on that tight ass shoe and complain. But other than that, yeah, I will see you guys in another reading. Thank you for tuning in. And, you know, I wish you guys the best for 2024. I will see you in another one while I clean up. All right, bye.